Welcome guys to another episode of CODE4 TV. I'm Lee Logan, Battlefield fan, member of grrr Squad, and as always, presenter for CODE4 TV. We're bringing you this episode on a special day. Yes, it's the 1st of November, the launch day of Battlefield 4. We're all very excited. Let's see what's coming up in this show.
This episode of CODE4 TV. The launch of Battlefield 4. The 10 Battlefield 4 maps. Team eSports ZA. RFH merges with XTC.
And welcome back guys. So Battlefield 4 was released in the US on the 29th of October and they had a host of problems. What were these problems? Well, they had disconnections, they had audio stuttering, they had crashes to the desktop, high CPU utilization. Do these things sound familiar? Well, yeah, because those are the exact same things that we had in the beta. Now, DICE have had a few days to patch those things. Obviously, the US didn't get the day one patches that we thought they'd probably get. But thank goodness for us here in South Africa, because we only released on the 1st of November, we get to play the game that's optimized. We get the patches on day one. So there's a good thing for waiting. Fantastic. So we'll see how it works out tonight. I look forward to seeing you there.
What's up, cutie?
Hey.
What's going on?
Not too much.
Hey, I was looking at you and I thought you were really pretty and I wanted to get your number. Is that too much to ask for, or?
You know,
Let's go out to dinner.
I usually go out to dinner with people
Oh yeah, who you go to dinner? By yourself?
sometimes.
Oh wow. That's I don't usually ask twice, but you sure you don't want to go out with me?
Is your car?
Yeah, it's my car. Why?
Well, I might be able to go out to dinner with you.
You might.
There's a bar down the street if you want to go.
There's what?
There's a bar down the street. If you
Oh,
wanna go.
now you want to. Too bad. I don't like gold diggers. Peace!
So in Battlefield 4, in the full release, we're going to experience 10 maps to play. The first, Siege of Shanghai, we've all experienced in the beta, so we won't mention that too much now because we've all seen it and we've played it in various modes. So we'll move on to Parasol Storm. Parasol Storm, very interesting map, guys. It looks like it's big on naval warfare. There's going to be jets, the DV-15 and RCB attack boats. They're going to be really interesting here. I know the RCB is a bit more open, where the passengers inside aren't as covered as in the DV-15. So those attack boats can play a big role in this map, especially when the guys unlock things like the TV missile. That's going to be dangerous, especially for choppers, tanks, anything that are around them. They're going to obliterate. We're going to see the RHRB transport boats flying around, especially when the Levolution event takes place and the waves start picking up. You're going to see guys flying around in the air because the waves suddenly grow these massive sizes and they get thrown around, making it difficult to use the boats and what have you. Jet skis are going to play an important role in this map, I think, because the arc design and the islands, individual islands for the flags, you're going to find guys trying to cross the waters and get to the flags quickly, taking shortcuts, what have you, using the little birds and etc. to get around the small helos, to get over the top and cap the back flag from the enemy and what have you. It's going to be a really interesting map. We saw a bit of it at Gamescom, so not too much to talk about there. Let's move on to some of the others. Now, Flood Zone. Now, I must say, from what I've seen, this probably is going to be my favorite map. It might be yours too, probably because I feel it's going to be very heavy on the infantry, especially with all the buildings and the multiple entry and exit points and the vantage points for all the guys. There's the standard choppers that fly around the map that are going to be very dangerous for the infantry because there's a lot of exposed areas. The Flood Zone has the Levolution where the streets of the city are flooded and the level rises, and it makes it difficult to get to some of the points. Some say that you can only get there via the boats, but obviously you can swim, which will obviously take a long time. You have APCs, which are amphibious, which can also get you there. They'll be a bit slower, but they'll get you there. Then you've got some of the attack boats, some dinghies, the transports, quad bikes, tanks on some of the outer-lying areas, which when the Levolution event takes place, I think they're going to kind of be ruled out. So it's going to be an interesting map. I'm really excited to play this one. I've taken some footage of it. You can see it here behind me. And there's some really interesting battles that take place on top of the rooftops and some of the capture points. So fantastic looking map. I'm really excited about this one. Let's take a look at the next one. Next up is Goldmud Railway, and this is a big conquest map. It's got all the vehicles. It's very vehicle heavy. We've got tanks, APCs, transports, we've got attack helis, we've got transport helis, we've got jets, especially the big jets, the ones that more than likely will get all the best bombing unlocks and what have you. Bomb runs are going to be important on this map, I think. There's going to be quite a few skirmishes in the central mass where a lot of the flags are concentrated. There's a couple outlying flags where I think most of the vehicles are going to have easy caps. There's gimmies near the back spawn points for either side. It's quite a good looking map. It's going to be quite intense, pretty good competitive map, I think. But I think the most important thing on this map is going to be the jets. We'll see how that plays out. We're going to see some really skilled pilots coming through, causing havoc, a lot of headaches, a lot of whining, I'm sure, but we'll see how that one plays out. Next up is Operation Locker. Now this is supposed to be the Metro replacement. Now I'm not so sure about that. I know it is a very, well basically it's an only infantry map, very linear with its flag caps, but it's a little bit different than Metro. You could say there's some choke points, but not particularly because there's multiple levels, there's multiple angles of attack. Guys can go around you most of the time. It'll be quite difficult to lock him down, considering what I think one of the number one things is you basically can go right on the outside of the map along a snow path that goes outside of the bunker, because that's basically what this is. The Operation Locker is a big underground bunker inside of a mountain, and you can go outside into the mountainside through the snow right across the map to the other side if you like, and back rage the guys. It's quite open to that. So I think DICE have done very well to balance it that way so you don't get the choke points like you had in Metro. How it'll play out on the smaller maps I haven't seen, so we'll have to wait and see how that plays out competitively. But hopefully the flanking path stays there along the mountain. I'm really crossing fingers for that. But the multi-levels, I don't think there's too many choke points. I think it's a very good map, especially for infantry, people who like the infantry combat the most. It's going to be a good map for you guys. I really think it's going to be popular. Let's take a look at Hainan Resort. Now this is a large linear map. There's mostly a central cluster. There's a big hotel in the middle where I think most of the action of this particular map is going to take place. Quite an exciting map. There's 2 gimmies on either side for each team to cap right in the beginning, but it's got all the vehicles. Little birds, APCs, tanks, the big jets, the A-10 and the Su-25. There's transport vehicles, all the naval vehicles, the jet skis and the RHRBs, the attack boats and what have you. It's going to be an all-out war on this particular map, and everything's going to be concentrated right in the middle, I foresee. So a really interesting one. It looks quite exciting. I can't wait to play it. Then we have Dawnbreaker. Now this is the dark map that DICE have given us, and it's set when? At dawn, yeah, you guessed it. And it's not quite as linear as some of the other ones, but you could call it semi-linear. You have 2 gimme flags which are pretty close to the back spawns. Then you have the central mass, but the 2 gimmies are fairly close to the central mass, which is in a bit of a triangle sort of configuration right in the middle. It's going to be tanks and APCs, all the transports and jets. Jets are going to play a big role here. It's going to be a big tug-of-war map. It's going to be very exciting. Very difficult for the jets to fly around with all these tall buildings around. Very similar building configuration and look and feel as the Shanghai map. but set at dawn, so it's a little bit dark, and there's jets flying around. They're going to bomb your ass, so it's going to be great fun, especially for the pilots, which are going to get very skilled over the coming year. So interesting one. We'll see how that plays out. Next up, we've got Langkang Dam. Now this is a large circular map where you've got a dam more or less in the middle, or at the edge of the circle, right in the middle of the map. And there's 2 gimmies on either side, right near your back spawn, all the vehicles. Now, a lot of the flags are concentrated right near the dam, but you've got one really interesting flag which is in the middle of the ocean on a little island on its own. That's going to play an important role, especially competitive gaming, I'm sure. But you've got all the vehicles the same again. You've got the jets bombing, you've got attack helos, you've got APCs and tanks. It's going to be intense, this particular map. I'm sure of it. It's got all the vehicles. There's going to be attack helos and transports and APCs and tanks and naval vehicles all banging away at each other. It's going to be fantastic fun. We'll wait and see how that plays out. Then we have Rogue Transmission. Now, this is one huge radio telescope in the middle of some mountains somewhere. Fantastic looking map. I think it's going to be very sniper heavy. There's lots of towers, the support towers, and the dish itself. Snipers are going to be able to get up there and hide on the periphery and snipe at whoever's down on the ground. It's also quite vehicle heavy, so I think it's going to be important for the snipers that there are lots of troops involved trying to cap the flags. There's the big jets that are probably going to do lots of bomb runs here. And there's another big map. All these maps are big. All the transports, the APCs and tanks, the little helos. Just a massive map, and it's going to be great fun to play it. There's a flag that I know is underneath the dish. That's going to be giving you a lot of cover from the jets and the attack helos. I'm not sure if huge tanks and stuff are going to get down there. Have yet to see. I'm excited to see that. We'll see that coming up in the next week or so. And last but not least, Zavad 311. Now this looks like quite a fun map too. It's set in an old abandoned Russian tank factory. Seems quite infantry friendly. The flags themselves are quite well spaced. They are equidistant from each other, you could say. They are the gimme flags, so to speak. They're close to your base. This seems to be a theme that DICE have come up with for the first couple of release of these maps. There's lots of building cover all around on this particular map itself. The central factory in the middle, you're going to see lots of elevated assaults. I'm not sure how much of an impact the vehicles are going to have because there's so much cover. There's a lot of foliage, there's a lot of elevation, there's a lot of there's a bunker at the one end. So vehicles will play a small part. I think the biggest role to play here will be the small helos for transport and maybe the transport vehicles to get around quickly, but very infantry friendly and looks quite exciting. So those are the maps. I hope you enjoyed the quick run through them, and we'll see you there. And welcome back. Let's take a moment to wish the best of luck to Team eSports South Africa, who will be traveling to Bucharest, Romania for the 2013 IESF World Championships against 40 other countries. It's a big deal. This is the 5th time a South African team has gone to compete in the IESF World Championships. Many thanks to MWeb and Rockhat for sponsoring their travels, getting in there safely. This is the largest team from South Africa that's been sent to the IESF, and it's our first League of Legends team that are going there. So I think seeing the quality that we saw at the 2013 Rage Do Gaming Championships, Team South Africa is going to be a hard team to beat. But the big news is a first for South Africa. It's our 2 gaming girls who will be representing South Africa in the IESF World Championships. That's Yolandi Williams for StarCraft 2 and Noreen Kun for Tekken Tag Tournament. Now this is fantastic to see. You beat the boys down, you show them who's boss. Go represent us. I'm sure you do well. We wish you guys the best of luck. Here are the guys that will be representing us for League of Legends, StarCraft and Tekken Tag Tournament at the IESF World Championships. Guys, good luck. We know you're going to do well. You'll represent South Africa. You'll make us proud. Go get them. And in clan news this week, RFH have announced that they'll be merging with XTC. Now XTC, a clan that traditionally we know as a Counter-Strike team, perhaps even Team Fortress 2 or even older Quake 3. Interesting move. RFH surprised us in that they did so well in the DGL 2013, getting right up there in the top 10, competing at Rage 2013 for the finals, for the DGC, for the championship, and beating a lot of the bigger names and surprising us all, doing very well. So an interesting move. They say they want to be more competitive, maybe the bigger pool of players for the up and coming Battlefield 4 events that are yet to come. It'll be interesting to see. We wish them best of luck. Wear your XTC tags with pride, because we know you are great players and you're set to do your XTC team proud. And that's it for another episode of CODE4 TV. I hope you enjoyed the show. Please like or subscribe. Give us some comments, some feedback. If you have some interesting news to give us, please log on to www.grrr.co.za. Come visit our forums. Give us some information. We'll have a look and maybe it'll feature on our next video. We look forward to some Battlefield 4 coming in the next few weeks and hope to feature some talent that we see out there. So we'll see you on the battlefield.
Bye.